Okay. In theory, we should be live. So that's kind of cool. JD, are you there? Are you out
I
in the
am still
world with me?
here.
Excellent. What's in my screen?
Right now it's still the 10-team bracket.
Oh, not on Discord. I'm
Uh,
live. Oh,
on Twitch.
yeah.
Got it. Let me tell Dustin.
Hey, there we go. Fix that. Slightly better. You guys need any liquid bandage? Oops, wrong way.
I, I actually have a lot of those because I get cut quite a bit.
Yeah, it's not necessarily necessary, but it is super super helpful. So, anyways, guys, we are in theory, according to this, live on stream. So that's great. But we're gonna take a technical break here just for one moment while I figure something out. Hey JD, are you there again?
I am here again. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. So the way things are currently set up on my stream is that if I get out of, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I guess, well, you know what? I'll explain. If I change the screen on here in order for there to be no audio, because I'm working on something, then I lose you completely. Because, uh, well, essentially, I just don't want people to hear what's going on when I'm not on screen.
hmm
Anyway, say hello, everyone. This is JD, guys. JD, he's part of the stat crew, and he's been helping me do stats for our cloth league all season. And so now we've decided, why not do a predictions for this upcoming Tucson event, the USA Dodgeball Premier Tucson event on this Saturday and Sunday. Say hello to the people, JD.
What up, party people?
Looks like the only people we got watching right now are our pal Dustin and my girlfriend. So, you know, huge viewership numbers. But
Yeah.
we did it. We're
Valued
online.
nonetheless.
We're online, and that's the most important part. We
All
made
right.
it
We already
happen.
have a request from the viewers.
Uh,
Uh, yes.
it is
Dustin is
actually.
asking if you could hit me in the face.
Oh, nice. Not right now, but we can get him later. But yes, that is correct, Plant Girl. We have 100% Canadian viewership on Twitch. Excellent.
See,
Uh,
I knew I liked Canadians and their ketchup chips.
okay. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring up our screen here. I'll be in the bottom right hand corner where my little logo is, and then you'll see what we're working with. So, the first division that we're going to do, I think what I want to do is we're going to do our open foam division. Um, and so, I'll pull this up right now in front of everybody. But, so, you can see we've got our leader or our bracket right here. I apologize for this not being the world's greatest, but I did it really quickly. Just while we were working on other stuff. But anyway, here's our single team elimination bracket. Here's all of our teams over here. This top 14, I think, this is all our open teams. These are the women's teams. And then this group over here is all of the mixed teams. And yeah, we're gonna start it off with our open teams, which I'm gonna pull it up right here. Wonder if it'll show it. Yeah, so we've got I've got the dodgeball hub up right now on my screen, so you can see we got two different groups for all of these divisions. So for the men's division, which isn't technically a men's division here in the U.S., it is an open division. Anyone can play in it. Unlike for Worlds or I believe the Canadian national events and provincial events are men's and women's, but for the U.S. it's open. Uh, but we've got Group A, which is made up of Berserk, Precision, Elevation, Ghost, Atlanta Threat, Synergy, and LA Renaissance. And JD, why don't you tell everyone who's in Group B?
All right, so we got Hex, Filthy, Ronin, Pantheon, Flight, Rose City Rebels, and Brutes.
And we do kind of want to go ahead and pull up rosters on here, but I don't have it set up to easily do. So we can kind of just talk about some of these teams in that way. I'll start off with just saying uh, kind of like where these guys are from. So like Berserk here, that's a Seattle-based team. Precision, that is a East Coast-based team. I'm not fully sure where they're all from. Elevation's mainly Colorado. Atlanta Threat is a lot of Atlanta-based folks, but also I think for this tournament there's a number of West Coast folks filling in with them. Synergy, that's a Los Angeles slash West Hollywood based team. LA Renaissance, as you can guess, LA. And then Ghost, I think, is also Colorado. Do you know, JD?
Hold on, let me pull up their thing right now. Uh, one
I
second.
suppose I could try and pull up a roster
All
thing.
right. Yeah, Atlanta Threat actually bringing in other people from other divisions, including Xander Simos, according to Total Sports Hub.
Nice. Okay.
Xander, if you ever watch this, shout out to you. Thank you for helping and congratulations on gold this past Worlds.
Yeah, he was a part of our
And
San Diego team this last weekend at the Untitled tournament, and he's just a great team leader, and I appreciate him. He makes good play calls, in case you didn't know that already. All right, but he's
all
on
right,
Atlanta
so
Threat.
for yes, so for Ghost, it's looking like uh it is based off of Colorado, captained by Leighton Brooks, former Los Angeles resident. Shout out Leighton.
Cool, cool, cool. All right, so that's a Colorado squad, and then for Group B, we've got Hex, which is like I guess it's a probably 50% Arizona and like
Uh,
50%
they
Los
did,
Angeles.
yeah, they did have quite of an overhaul of their roster. Let me pull up uh who they currently have. Uh, it just says Nicholas, no last name, no
Okay,
picture. Very helpful. Thanks, guys. Marco from Los Angeles, Cody
okay.
Trujillo from Los Angeles. If you guys have not seen on the JDF Dodgeball channel, he does have a pretty sick breakdancing video on there.
You're never gonna
Uh,
let him let that go, huh?
Hell no, if he keeps heckling me roughing, I am not gonna let that go. Petty JD is here to stay.
All right, let's see if I can pull this up on the screen while you go through this for people.
All right. Yeah, it looks like it is like a
I think I got it.
50-50 mix of Arizona and Los Angeles, San Diego.
Nice.
So Arizona, California mix
Gotcha.
for
Oh, our
Hex.
cloth boy Eric Nelson's on the squad. Nice.
Hey, shout out Eric. Great season for us. Eric Nelson, formerly uh, Pinch background, Pinch 8.5, played in, I believe, Columbus, Ohio. Same same team as um, Joey's national team teammate, uh, Lord Marshall Winterbotham the First.
Good old Marshall. Looks like we've got an update from the internet here, from the chat. It's Nicholas Danchenko from the Toronto Mavericks is playing with Hex, and I feel like as soon as I see his face, I'm gonna know him. But regardless, If he is who I think he is, he's a really solid player, and he was at nationals for USA Nationals in 2024. Uh, it's just coming down to hang out and get as much dodgeball experience as you can. So, just with that, let's go ahead and just make a little quick prediction here. We don't need to go through every team because that's just gonna take too long, and maybe nobody cares. We've got 3 viewers, so one of them might care,
Hey,
but we've gone up. We've got one more. Uh, but let's just start off and who do you think's gonna win? Like, let's do like your top 3 from Group B, and then we could try to fill it in from there.
I mean, I definitely think Hex being the big name
Okay.
on there. Wait, you said Group B, correct?
Yep.
All right, okay, cool. Because your cursor was on a Group A.
Oh,
So Hex, Flight, and I think Filthy are going to be the top three for Group B.
gotcha. Okay. I don't. I don't disagree. I think those are going to be 3 very solid teams. Obviously, when you have a big shift like that in personnel, things can change. But I think the core group is there for all 3, which makes a huge difference. Everyone else can just kind of try to fit in with them. Uh, so for Group A, we had Berserk, who at Nationals in 2024 had a really good showing. Hey, we got another person in the chat. Philip J. Fry, coming to you from the year 3000. Appreciate that. Traveling back in time to watch our stream. We got Berserk here, Atlanta Threat, Synergy, who I am playing with, so a little bit biased. LA Renaissance, Precision, Elevation, and Ghost. So I'm going to go with my gut here and just say, based on Nationals in 2024, I think it's going to be tight between Berserk and Atlanta Threat. I think they're going to be the top 2 teams coming out of this
Agreed.
division. And
Hmm.
then it gets a little closer. I haven't played with Synergy before, but a core amount of the team has played together. LA Renaissance, I know, is a number of players who have played together in LA, but the team is relatively new, kind of started last year. Precision, I don't think their full squad's there. I don't know if Elevation's full squad's there, but I'm going to go ahead and be biased and pick Synergy over the other 4 and put Synergy at 3rd place. And I'll just show you the Synergy lineup here because we do have a kind of a mixed squad coming in. So we've got our team here, which is Marshall Winterbottom, Joseph Kramer, that's me, and Levi Craig. These 2 have Protect Your Neck fame. And the rest of the team here is their regular team. We got Verge, Ruben, Ridge, Sutton, and Ledge. So those are all together, and they've been playing together for quite some time. So it's going to just kind of depend on how well we can all fit in there. But I'm fairly confident with how we played this last weekend that we're going to be able to do pretty good and make some waves at this tournament. So here's hoping. Um, so if that's the case, let me pull up. I think we can go here and look at how their schedule. I think. Oh yeah, there's the brackets. So for open foam, man, oh, this is going to be slightly tricky to do this properly. JD,
Hmm. Yeah. Hold on. Schedule on Dodgeball Hub.
man, I should have
Well,
just screenshotted this. Can I just screenshot this? I can. Will that be easy? Hold on, let me just try and do that. Let's see if that works. For a okay, screenshot. Let's just go. Let's cut to me real quick. Hey, look, guys, it's me while I work on trying this thing to see if it works. How exciting! Okay, almost. I think this is
yeah,
gonna
you
work.
guys can totally tell that we are close to a tournament based on how busy we actually are in preparation for this stream. Um, and
100%
meaning
prepared.
Definitely. But most of our efforts, as Joey mentioned earlier, were being directed toward doing stats and commentary for our local cloth league at World Dodgeball Society on Wednesdays. For those in LA that are interested, contact Michael Costanza. And uh, one day when all the videos are finished, we will hopefully also have them played on Joey's Twitch, all back to back marathon style,
Yeah, I
which
think.
he did a great job editing, by the way. So thank you for
Oh,
that,
thanks,
Joey.
guys. Yeah, I think we did an okay job. Let's see if this works. Come on. Oh man, it's close. I have so many teams. All right, so if we do that, all right, let's. That doesn't look great, but we could work with it. So pulling that back up for the people. So that's what that looks like now. Definitely not a mess. Um, can I grab those teams? All right, JD. What's next? How do we do this? How this should be an obvious thing, but we didn't think it fully through.
Yeah, we really didn't.
But we're here. We're trying, darn it, because that's what matters. So I'm just gonna. All right, fuck it. We'll just move these teams. All right.
All right, hold
So
on. Hold
yeah.
on. My blind self is zooming in so I can see it better.
Well, if you can look at just if you look at your dodgeball hub and you pull up um, the
That
bracket.
probably would have been a better. That probably would have been a better way to do it.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, let's see. Winners bracket. Which one are we doing? Open foam first?
Yeah.
Got it.
So who do we think's going to be the number one seed? Really, that's what answers this question. We can start with that. Who do you think's
All
going to be
right.
our number one seed in open foam?
I honestly would put uh threat in that position because even though Hex is the big name on the block, um, they typically don't try to go all out during round robin matches and preserve their energy more towards brackets. So I think, but
I like it.
threat, I think threat would be more towards the number one.
I accept. We're going to put Threat as our number one seed going in to playoffs in our open foam Tucson prediction scale. All right, so number two seed. What do we think? We think
Let's. Hmm. I'm
so.
between filthy or flight.
Gotcha. Let me pull that back up again here. We had who was in the pool together? Standings. Come on, go faster. No teams. How did I screw this up already? Guess it wasn't difficult. Hey, we got a fifth viewer, whoever you are. Thanks for tuning in.
A
We did it. We got another one. Okay, so if threat's number one, you're thinking flight is number two? Flight or filthy is going to be the number one out of Group
yes,
B?
yes.
Okay, I like it. I'm going to go with. We're going to give it to flight. We're going to give it to flight
Mhm.
partially because of a little bias, but also I think they're going to play really well. Bias is that their captain Bo is going to be playing with my mixed team Groove. So we're going to give Flight our number two seed in our prediction scale here. All right. Then from there, I feel like obviously everything's going to get a little tighter as things go down. But I like seeing this up here, even though it's kind of a little gross. But hopefully, the people can see it all right. Hey, chat, does it look terrible? Let us know because if it does, I I'll try to do better. Okay, um,
Not
but
where I thought you were going with that, honestly.
hey, I want to do a good job. Okay, and in the future, I will do a slightly better job. But
Well, we know Dustin's watching, and we know he's gonna give us grief regardless,
it's
just
true.
because it amuses him, and
Uh,
honestly, it amuses us. But
yeah. And he's gonna be up here, and he's gonna be running the tournament. So he wants to see what we think's gonna happen, because he'll be there, making it happen. Okay,
yeah,
so the
so
number three
best of
seed.
luck to you,
Oh,
Dustin.
thanks, thanks for all of your support and running the tournament in advance. Um, hmm. Well, I feel like, so I know that I had Hex and Berserk as like top part of the top three of their divisions, and we also had, who was the other ones? We had Filthy, and then
Filthy's all the way at the bottom.
I picked Synergy. Um, oh, I just have it up on the stream, JD. I'm
Oh, okay.
moving the names around. So, of
Oh,
those
got it.
four, who do we think is going to be the three seed? I feel like, kind of with what you said, that Hex might be willing to drop a game or two in order to just save energy, but I think that they're going to come in pretty hot. So maybe the only game that they drop will be to the whatever pool they're in. I can't remember. I already forgot. But I'm going to put Hex as our number 3 seed.
I mean, I feel like that's still a good prediction because they do have some newer players, some younger players, especially that they could just have out there, burn through some energy, and the more experienced players hang back a little and save themselves for the playoffs. They also have a nine-person roster,
Yeah,
which
so they'll
is
have lots of
even for
gas.
US, yeah,
Cuz now
yeah, even
just
for
this
USA dodgeball, that's a lot.
yeah, well, that it's a lot because for this season it's the first time we've allowed 9. It's a rules update. For open and women's, previously the max was 8 players on the roster, and now we're up to 9, which I think is good for just allowing more people to play, getting people more rest, and then also having additional shaggers on the court. One of the reasons why they didn't want to do that before is like a lot of teams just stacked too hard, so the talent pool I think just shrunk so much, and so but now we've got enough players playing that um, you see that a little less often. You see teams filling in and going their own way a little bit. That was a real shitty sentence. Woo! Okay, but you see, I think you see there's being a little bit more competition across the board. So you stack the concern about teams being too stacked is just a lot lower. Um, all right, JD, who do you think's going for?
I think it's gonna be filthy.
Filthy. I think that's what
Hmm.
Dustin here in the chat was saying as well. He's got Dan Alport playing on Filthy, and Dan's friggin' great. Great player, really great guy, and I support him. And so we'll put him in the fourth seed. Boom. Let's see who else is on his roster. Let's pull it up. Do 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 do. Who is playing with him on Filthy? Apparently nobody. The team's not real. Okay, there it is. Filthy. On Filthy, we've got DeMonte Cleveland, who plays. I mean, he's on Shred pretty often. He's played on TBUSA. He's great, great
He's
phone player. But I
he's
really.
playing for Hex as well, I believe.
Oh yeah, true. Last year he played for Hex quite a bit for most of the season. I don't know Noah Flom or Rupert Strawbridge. Actually, I don't know about half this team, at least not by name. I know Frankie, I know Dan, I know Demonte. I feel like I know Sam Jones, but like just not by name. People need to get some profile pictures. Hey, shit, I'm in Dan's profile picture right there. You see me? Oh, look at that
Hey.
cutie. Um, but just with those 3 players alone, and the fact that I know that this is a team that's been together for a minute with the rest of them, they're gonna put up a good round robin for sure. So it'll be curious. I'm curious to see how that all plays out. But I support them as the 4 seed. Whoa, cool website. Thanks, thanks, dude in Cali. In case you didn't know, he designed the website for Total Sports Hub. So thank you very much for making that happen. Hey, hey, thank you. And now he's watching our stream. Up to 6 viewers. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so we got our 1 through 4 teams. So who we got going 5 and 6? I know who I want to be 5, but I
Let me
think,
see. Hold on. Let me try and pull up Berserk's roster.
yeah, I
Uh,
don't know too much of the team, but they played so well, and they're a Seattle team that plays together all the time that they're just constantly improving. Which is one of the hardest things to do in USA Dodgeball because we're spread out so far across the country that you just don't often get to practice as much as you'd like. So we got David Carlock, who uh, was at Nationals. I think a good chunk of this team was at 2024 Nationals, but he's a very good player. And we got Roy McElmurray coming back, who took a little bit of a hiatus, but he's back in the dodgeball world again on this team. Previously, I think his team name was Roybots that he captained. But I don't know
okay.
these other players by name. But do I know this gentleman? I'm gonna say that I don't. But if I do, I'm sorry. But the way they played at nationals, it gives me hope that they're gonna also come out and play great in Tucson. So I think I'm cool with Berserk being our 5th seed. In the chat, we got Dustin coming in again, and what is his prediction? Of the 4 teams that moved up from comp to premier, they were the 3rd seed behind Fortune and Misfits and ahead of Atlanta Threat. Okay, so they didn't make it to enough tournaments in 2024 to qualify for the premier tournament initially, but through their play in nationals, they did move up. That's what he's saying. Um,
Yeah, that's a pretty good argument for putting them in our I believe we're on the fifth seed now.
yes, so we'll put them right here in 5th spot, 5th place. I like it. And then that leaves Synergy. Woo! Synergy, yeah! We're going to be 6th seed. Okay, and then we got to figure out the rest of the squad. Which I think I know my prediction right off the bat. But who are you feeling for 7 and 8?
All right, let me pull up the teams. Uh, well, let's see. Road City has been making some noise,
Rose
so has
City. Boom,
Precision.
boom.
But I think Precision with their continuity, that continuity tends to always help in dodgeball. So I think I would give a slight edge to Precision.
So I'm also going to put Elevation up in this conversation. They've been together for a while. Very solid team. Number of national players and just experienced players in general. Um, but Rose City, I think when I initially looked at their roster, wasn't the same roster that's actually going to be there. So let's take a real quick look at Rose City's roster for Tucson. Okay, yeah. So with these additional players on the squad now, because these two I don't believe were initially on there, Kyle and Harley, who are excellent players. Yeah, they definitely deserve to be in this conversation. Like, just look at this squad. That's a good squad. We're gonna do some names: Harley, Kyle, Spencer, Kegler, Kyle, Kenny. Ooh, how do you say that? Lazaro. Lazaro sounds the most
I
right.
believe so. Yeah, I
So if
believe
I'm
so. Yes.
wrong, I'm sorry. And Reeve. So that's a really, really good squad right there. Um, so yeah, I support your decision to put uh, Rose City up here. Um, yeah, who do you want to go with? Rose City, Precision, Elevation. What do you
Hold
think
on.
in our 7th seed?
Uh, Pulling up Precision uh on my side right now. So we got
Let's do
Luke
that.
McKenna, Ben Stolfi, Jordan Guyton, Derek Smith, Kyle Rudman, Marcus Morgan, Samuel Bryant, and Tyler Steffi.
That's so funny. You have a different order of players than I do on my screen. But
Oh no, I announced it in a different order.
okay.
That's why.
But that's a very good squad, and once again, they've been playing together for a while. And like you said, just that consistency with a team can make such a huge difference in uh, how you place in a tournament. So I know who I want to put, but I want to hear who you got at 7.
I think just on continuity, I think Precision might have the slight edge
Boom.
over Rose City. So possibly in that order. Elevation, no disrespect to them. They did lose a few of their key players over the past couple of years, whether it be due to retirement or taking a different role in USA Dodgeball. I believe Dr. Dr. Alfred Kwan uh, had a position in the USA board for a bit.
Oh, he was
Correct me if
president,
I'm wrong.
baby, and coach of Team USA, men's cloth and mixed cloth. And so then we're gonna seed Elevation down in as a 9 seed. Ooh, shit. Okay, so that sets us for a solid matchup of Elevation versus Rose City. So who knows? We'll find out. We'll find out.
Yeah.
All right, to
uh,
fill out the rest, man, this is going to take forever if we do this for every single division. Um, good thing we didn't make.
what?
Did think we didn't fully commit to that, but we kind of did. All right, so 10th seed. So we're down to 5 teams left. We got LA Renaissance, Ghost, Ronin, Brutes, and Pantheon. And I believe you're playing on LA Renaissance, correct?
Yes, yes, I am. I am playing with Chris Terry, Jesse Soto, and other people who I should know that's on my team, but I currently don't.
Hey, you can't
Hold
remember
on.
everything.
No, but I am often asked to by random players in the league. So, uh, random players in WDS League, why don't you try refing and remembering all the rules and see how you like being heckled? And
Hey,
yes, this is directed at a person, at a specific person.
okay,
So
good.
if that person is watching,
I'm
I
sure.
highly doubt it. He never listens to me anyways.
All right. Well, based on these teams
Uh,
here, I I don't know where I'm going to go. I feel like I know a lot of the LA Renaissance players and the Brutes players, and I know some from Ronin and Pantheon. I think I just know one from Ghost. So I think it all just kind of depends on do the players I know show out, or do they kind of step back and let the rest of their team take over? Um, and I don't know. Well, I guess at this point, I'm just going to start picking teams. JD,
let's see. I mean,
I'm going to give it to
right
you
now,
guys. What do you
Ronan,
think?
honestly, yes, because I'm looking at
Woo!
Ronan's roster.
Confidence
It
in
does not
yourself.
it does not seem as if they have some of their key players that they normally would have in other divisions. So that could be a huge detriment to them. But at the same time, if these newer players gel quickly with the existing team, then they might surprise the rest of us.
Nice. All right. Well, based on the players I do know on Ronin, I am going to give Ronin the 11 seed. If I remember correctly, we've got Daniel Ronk and Brandon Cook on that team, correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
And when those two
Dylan
players
Tobia.
play out, oh, Dylan's on that team too? Man, don't throw
Yeah,
balls at Dylan,
yes.
guys. Don't. Don't throw them at him. Throw them at somebody
I mean,
else.
I mean, don't throw at Brandon Cook either.
Yeah.
Phenomenal catcher.
No, that those three are very good players. And so it's just kind of come down to how well they gel. And as the day goes on, I feel like since foam is first, um, foam people have the most energy, but at the same time they're not usually quite in their rhythm as of yet. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go with Pantheon as my 12 seed because I like their name and I'm feeling it. Feeling Pantheon at 12. I'm feeling
All right, look,
I'm feeling Brutes at 13 and Ghost at 14. How do you feel about that?
that seems like a fair uh that seems like a fair order if you ask me. Oh, hey, we got a special guest appearance on Pantheon. Tony Sanchez will be uh, coming out of semi-retirement,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Well, it's good to have him there because Tony is, I mean, Tony's a hell of a player himself, but he's become more of a coach in later years, or not later years, just last year? I don't know. He started
I
coaching,
believe, yeah.
and it seems like it really suits him, and he's doing a great job with that. So to see him playing, which makes sense, we're in Arizona, we're in his home turf, even though it's not right there. So to have him play, that's fun to see him out. Okay. Well, now we've got our matchup set. As you can see right here, we've got. Oops, did not do that the way I wanted to. As you can see, we got Elevation versus Rose City in our first round. We've got Pantheon versus Berserk, Ghost versus Filthy, LA Renaissance versus Precision, Ronin versus Synergy, and Brutes versus Hex. All right, I think. Oopsie, zoomed out too far. I think we're going to start at the top of this bracket, which will be a match one Elevation versus Rose City. So I think, unfortunately, being the eighth, ninth seed is a really, really tough road here because, according to this, they're going to have to face the number one seed, which doesn't make a
And
whole lot of sense to me. I guess it does. Does it? Yes.
yes,
Okay. I'm okay. That'll be the highest. Yeah. I'll accept. Um. So I think it's going to be a real
on
tight match. That's for sure.
let's see. I think I might give it to Rose City. They do, and looking at their rosters, I mean, 7 players versus 8. That's going to be a question of, are your players fully warmed up and are they still good to go versus are they cooling down uh, when they really should be like all warmed and primed to throw.
Yeah.
So,
Are
uh,
they at their peak? Are they peaking, or are they coming down? It looks like from the chat here we've got our man Dustin coming in with some information, and the reason why it is laid out like this is because we currently don't do reseeding, where the lowest seed that out of this division would play the number one, or out of this round would play the number one seed. As Dodgeball currently does it, USA Dodgeball specifically, it just goes in order down the lines of the existing bracket. Um,
that does make sense because
yeah.
I don't think any more professional sports do reseeding. Hockey might have been the last to have done it, the NHL, but they might have also gotten rid of that
Well, I
over
know
the
that
past
the
few years.
NFL does it still, but the NFL is slightly different simply because they only do one game, right? There's only one game to play. So that seeding, not going to say it matters more, but it really kind of does, uh, since there isn't like a best of series for them. I also am going to go Rose City. I'm going to say Rose City takes this one probably in a one, maybe 2 point game. That's what I think. Rose City moving on to round two, our quarterfinals. Next on the list, we've got Pantheon versus Berserk. And I
Oh,
would personally
I
say, based on the seeding that we gave these folks, I think Berserk is going to take this one as well.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree.
All right. But I'm very curious to see because I just don't know the players on Pantheon. This is a team that is going to be a surprise team for me to see how they play throughout the day, how they come together. Um, yeah, I love it when I get to see new people playing because I just have no idea what they're going to do, how good they are, or how to play against them. So if it's a bunch of really solid new players, they become somewhat unpredictable in the most interesting and fun of ways. I think same thing here in our fifth matchup. I'm going to go Filthy takes this one over Ghost, just based on the seeding and the fact that we really do think Filthy is going to come in and play some great dodgeball. Go Dan. All right, JD, does LA Renaissance beat Precision? Does it happen?
Honest, I mean, my answer is going to be pretty biased. I definitely think we have the capability to upset Precision. Uh, and this is no disrespect to them, but uh, we recently did just play together the San Diego, the Untitled tournament. So we got a bit of practice on our hands together as a team. Um, I think I think all of our practices could pay off in this upcoming tournament, and I'm feeling relatively confident that we can pull off an upset here.
Well, you know what I have to say about that, JD? I have to say that kind of confidence, well, it's a trap.
Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 47. It's a trap.
Anyway, uh, I just wanted to have an excuse to play the clip. Um,
Yeah, I knew you were about to play the clip. That's why I set it up for you.
but I like it. We're going to move LA Renaissance on. LA Renaissance coming in, moving up here, and you guys will be facing, looks like, Flight in the quarterfinals, which is, going to be a tough road. Ronin versus Synergy. Ooh. All right, I like this matchup, but I'm gonna stick with the bias. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
that I think my team
I think
is.
you guys have it
I think
because
we're gonna come in
it is what, like half protect your neck, half uh
Synergy
synergy.
plus
Yeah.
Joey.
So yeah, plus Joey. So I think synergy is taking this one.
All right, I'm glad you agree. I think it'll be a really tight match and a good test to see how that's gonna unfold. Um, Playing against people like that who I've played against before. Ronk also was at the Untitled tournament and he was looking real good, moving well. But it's difficult for any one player to carry a dodgeball team. It's always going to be a team effort. Uh, Although in the first round, it's more often than not that one player can make that level of a difference. And then we got Brutes versus Hex, and that looks like that's our final position here. Oh, I thought I had Brutes over Ghost. Well, either way, I think the same thing was going to happen. Um, so we're going to have Hex moving on. Winner of. Wait, I did that backwards. Hex should be here. Synergy should be here. Damn it! I don't want to play Hex. Not so early. But that's okay. We've got our seating set up for our quarterfinals here. We've got Atlanta Threat versus Rose City, Berserk versus Filthy, Flight versus LA Renaissance, Synergy versus Hex. All right. Significant LA representation coming out here on the bottom. That's for sure.
Also, we do got a couple people who appreciated our Star Wars setup joke, but one person did call us a nerd.
Hey, well that makes sense. It's highly accurate. Accurate description
Was
of
it
the situation.
was it Dustin that called us a nerd?
No, actually, it was Plant Girl, who also
Yeah.
Canadian.
Uh, I had a 50-50 shot.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, just checking my messages real quick. Um, so, I mean, I think this played out more or less. Let's looking at it. The higher seed won every single game in our current layout, with the exception of you guys taking precision out.
Uh,
And in a 10
no,
versus
Rose
7
City
seed,
was.
oh, go
I
ahead.
think Rose City was 9 versus Elevation's 8.
Oh, I had
Correct
them.
me if I'm wrong.
I think I had them flipped. Rose City at 8, Elevation at 9. But
Okay, well, the 8-9 matchup tends to be like a toss up in most circumstances anyway.
yeah, I say 8 versus 9. You guys at 7 versus 10. Those are usually two of the closest matches, so they can swing either way. A couple of bounces here, a couple of great plays there. Um, but that then sets up some exciting matchups here. So let's start at the top in our seventh match. Atlanta Threat versus Rose City Rebels. So I think if we assume that Atlanta Threat played well enough to be the number one seed, The only problem here is that they're going to be a little cold coming in, right? Because they just sat this whole round previously, and it looks like they're playing 12:20, and these matches are at 11:55. So they might not
Yeah.
be quite as hot as Rose City coming in at this point. So that's a advantage Rose City for sure. But once again, we did seed them number one for a reason. So I feel like that's actually going to be a very like I think all of these are going to be pretty
I
tight matches.
I do think that'll be close, but however, like you said in the previous match, uh, Rose City versus Elevation. If that game comes down to the wire, they might burn out just trying to get that win in the previous match.
True.
And that is where Threat will have the advantage because Rose City still trying to catch their breath, while Threat is, has a little bit more runway, a little bit more breathing room. Uh, Against a tired team, might not make as many catches, might not be moving as quickly. So, and
Okay.
they are the number one seed, so they do have the luxury of scouting this previous match should they do so.
So I think we're both thinking the same thing, and we got Threat moving on into our
Y-
semifinals.
Yes.
In what is going to be a close match. I think that one will be very tight. One, maybe 2 points, I think. Unless someone gets really rolling, but I feel pretty good about Threat. Is that how you fucking spell Threat? Did I spell
Yes.
that? That's spelled right? Is that how this is
Mm,
supposed to look?
Okay, I'm curious, how do you think it's spelled?
It's one of those things that right now, just looking at this word, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if that's how you spell threat. It looks strange to me. Um, we got it from the chat. Yes, that is how you spell threat. I did a good job. Thank you. But moving on here, we've got our next match, which is Berserk versus Filthy. Which once again, I think that's gonna be another tightly contested match. I do think that Filthy is gonna pull this out because I really want to support
And
Dan and
I also
Devonte and
agree.
Frankie, but this is gonna be like but Berserk is a team that I still haven't seen play. I haven't seen them play at all. So I'm just basing it off of like 2024 Nationals and the few personnel I know on the team. But I'm gonna give it to Filthy. Filthy, you're moving on.
Yeah,
To play Threat in an East Coast showdown for the semifinals. What I think we got over here is I think Flight's gonna kick your ass. I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm sorry, Flight's
I
winning
mean,
and going to the semifinals.
I'm not gonna try and refute that, but I will say playing on LA Renaissance, I am gonna do my damnedest to make sure that doesn't happen. If we're gonna go down, we're going down with a fight.
I think the, I think with any level, with any experienced team, it all just comes down to not crumbling, right? You don't as long as you don't domino effect on bad mistakes, you can be in every single game for the length of a match. It's just that if after one bad game you fall apart, well then it's over. So I think that'll be the key to keep this one close. But I feel like Flight. Well, let's just pull up Flight's roster here real quick. I think Flight is just looking pretty solid for this tournament. We got
All right.
yeah, we got
We got information from our tournament directors. Keep in mind, Flight has a very different roster this year, having merged with Island Boys.
yeah. And so looking at their roster, they've got Nick Rooney, Matt Levine, Jonathan Gatlin, Giancarlo, Miles Garner, Ryan McComb, and Bo Tillman. So
Yeah, that is a pretty stacked roster.
that is a very good team, but as pointed out in the chat here, are they going to be together? Are they going to be that cohesive yet? That'll be the key to their success. They definitely have got the ability to go high, and they've got a lot of highs, but are they going to be able to be consistent throughout? So, sadly, I do think this is where Synergy's run ends. Um, And it has a lot to do with the fact that I personally can't ever seem to freaking beat Hex in playoffs. So that's my bad, guys. I'm bringing us down on that one. I think it'll be really close though, because luckily we have an exorbitant amount of experience playing against Hex. We've played against all of those players before. It's not like they are new to us. They've got quite a good roster, as we pointed out. Really, the only person I don't have any experience playing against is Niklas, who is a great foam player out of Canada. But everyone else, we all know how each other plays. So I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a lot closer game than the seeds would lead you to believe, probably. Um, but nonetheless, I think Hex is going to take us based on their playoff experience and their championship pedigree. Whoops, we accidentally zoomed all the way away. So now we got our semifinals set up. We got the Battle of the East Coast and the Battle of kind of the East Coast. A lot of East Coast teams having massive success here, leaving the
Three
West in the
three out of four
quarterfinals.
West 3 out of 4 East Coast teams for a West based tournament. You know, I'm not sure what that fully says about the West Coast right now.
Well, it also just seems to say that there's a lot more consistency with teams out of the East at this point. Like these teams out of the West, Hex is the team that's been around the longest. Brute's probably the second longest, but they've had a lot of roster changes. Rose City Rebels as well, also been around for a minute, but once again, they're still pretty new as a team. Oh shoot! Thanks for the cheer, Ken Knapsack. 100 bits. You know what? Appreciate you. I hope that you have been entertained.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Thank you very much, Gladiator. I love that movie. Thanks, Russell Crowe. Oh, shoot, he says he appreciates me. I appreciate you. Thanks, Ken. Thanks for tuning in. Um, all right, so we got our East Coast here versus our half East Coast. So I think this is where everything obviously tightens up, right? You don't know
Mhm.
who's playing their best game. But I'm going to go ahead and go down here and go with this match first, and I'm going to give it to Hex. I'm just going to say, after playing a tight match with us right here beforehand, I think
Mhm.
their championship pedigree and their experience as a team allows them to make the right decisions in playoffs to get past Flight. I think it'll be a close game again. Like there are some absolute killers on Flight, but I think it's that experience as a team that takes them into the championship game in foam. Like we've got several world champions on that team.
Like this one I actually might disagree with you
Ooh.
slightly because uh like Flight is going to come in fresher team because of their matchup with us. We are obviously the lower seed. However, uh, the experience factor on a player per player basis, I think it favors Flight just a little more because on a USA dodgeball level, because if you go to Hex's roster, they do have at least 2 players that are not as experienced at the semifinal level in Eric Nelson and Cody. Now, Cody, who usually plays with Protect Your Neck, does have that with them. They made it very far last year. However, he is still a new member of this team, and uh, if he gels with them is a big question mark. Same with Eric Nelson. Uh, so Eric, I believe this is his second year in USA Dodgeball after transitioning from NDA Dodgeball. So this could this could be the another coin toss that
Yeah. I think those are fair points, and here's where I'm going to argue my case a little bit is that I
All
think
right.
in USA Dodgeball there is no rule that requires you to play all of your players. So once you get to the playoffs, once you are in the semifinals, you're playing the hot hand. You're playing your six best players, and I think that it depends on how they're playing, obviously, how Cody and Eric
Hmm.
are playing. But with nine players on that roster, I think they have six players that could beat the six best players on flight. That's my opinion.
Okay. All right. I mean, plus, not to mention, you have the computer, so you do have the overruling
I
power.
do get the final say. That is fair. Uh, thank you. But I appreciate it. But I really don't know who's going to win in our threat versus filthy showdown. That I'm curious to hear your thoughts on because I I don't know. I really don't know. I am fairly biased towards Xander and Seth playing with Threat. But with Filthy, I really like that squad too. I don't think we've looked at Threat's squad yet, so I'm going to pull them up.
Not in the detail that we've looked at
Yeah.
earlier.
So we've got my boy Seth here, Seth Rabinowitz. We got Alexander Simos. We got Aaron Goodwin, Caleb Arnold, Blake Killian, Luke Finder, Garrett Lee, and Pierce McKenna. So I don't know half of this team nearly as well as I know the other half, but the players that I know relatively well. Specifically, like Seth and Xander, I know their play style and I know what they are capable of. Oops. Oh, well, let's just check the chat real quick. We got a comment. I think with Hex, it's always the same thing. If the team can support Ketchum until he gets hot and pops off, they can win the whole thing. If he's cold and can't get going, they will struggle. Fair point. I think that's a very fair point. Um, I think it for Hex with him being the leader on that team, it all does generally flow through him, and it is hard to work around that. But even when he is cold, or at least not, if he's cold, it's different. But if he's lukewarm, he's still one of the best players in the world. So even mid tier Ketchum is still putting you at a different level than a lot of players. But that's a totally fair point. If he's missing 5 out of 10 throws, well, who knows? Uh, but where are you at, JD, on the threat versus filthy matchup?
Do you mind pulling up the filthy roster?
Yeah.
Just because we haven't done it on screen.
Oh, I did earlier, but you
Oh,
probably
I
didn't
might
announce
have
it. Well,
missed it.
anyway, here they are. Back to filthy.
All right.
Shout out
All
to
right.
our
Okay,
six
so this is
viewers.
the
Thanks for tuning
all
in.
right, so this is Demonte and Dan, which are the players that I think we know more.
Hmm.
Frankie Giannetto, I believe he usually plays on Shred.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think.
so
Well, he definitely plays on Shred pretty regularly. I'm just curious if this is his regular team. I don't know because I've seen him play with Filthy before. Maybe he's gonna be on a separate squad, which it might be these guys from here on out. But I don't. I really just don't know. I will ask him at the tournament.
all right, let's see. I would give a slight edge uh to Filthy. And
Filthy.
I emphasize the word slight.
Totally fair. I think it's going to be a tight match, no matter what in all these situations. Like really, I think once we got here to the quarterfinals, I think they're gonna be tight. But I don't mind filthy. We're gonna go with filthy, but at the same time, what I would say with that decision is Seth has been playing great, and I think it's Aaron, right? I just wanted to make sure. Where did he go? Where did he go?
I
That's
believe I
right.
saw someone named Aaron on that team.
Yeah, Aaron Goodwin. He's great. Luke's been playing well. Seth's great. But I think it all just kind of depends on how hot Xander gets. Because Xander is one of those difference maker players. He's got a gold medal under his belt now playing with Team USA for the World Championship. And if he's hot, Threat is like like if he's playing lights out, he is a very difficult player to defend against. His offense is top tier. But we'll give it to Filthy here, and then I feel like personally, I think my same argument is why I would have to say that Hex takes the championship. I think Hex out of the gate is going to they're going to come in, they're going to say that this is what they want. They're going to come in, play some excellent foam dodgeball, set the tone for the entire day, and then who knows? Then maybe they'll take it easy in no sting. But I think foam is where they want to really put their stamp on it and come out playing some great dodgeball. So that's who I would pick in this championship matchup to win. I would give the edge to Hex. Also, they don't have to change time zones, so that's kind of convenient.
I mean, other than the time zone thing, yeah, I can't disagree with those points because I don't know. Wait, no, some they changed one time zone. Arizona daylight
Uh,
savings time has not occurred yet.
oh yeah, I suppose it just depends on what time of year it is.
Now, by the time of the
Champions.
tournament, daylight savings time will not yet have taken place. So one time zone.
Fair. One time zone. Slightly better, you know? Slightly better option than having to go across three. So yeah, we got Hex as our champions. Woo! Way to go, Hex. Good job, everybody. Dun, 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 dun. What does the thing say? Arizona does not believe in daylight savings time. That is correct. They do not. They hate it. They think it's the
Yeah,
worst.
there's like three zones in Arizona that actually abide by it. Uh, I do not remember off the top of my head which they are,
Oh,
but
really?
I just remember three. Yeah,
Well, that's
there's like
wild.
three like territories that actually follow it.
Okay, can I move these team names easily? This seems like it's going to be a pain in the ass. Well, anyway, that's what we did. So, what division do you want to do next, JD? We got Hex in first place, Filthy in second place. Ooh, we didn't actually do a third place matchup. I'm going to say in the third place matchup, I'm going to give it to Flight. I think Flight takes third place.
It's Flight versus which team?
It would have been it
Flight
would have
versus
been
Filthy?
it would have been Threat. Threat lost in the third
Threat
place
versus
match. Or
Flight.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty good matchup. I think both teams are technically from Atlanta. So, Battle of Atlanta for a third place matchup. That's going to be exciting.
Nice.
I would give it to Flight.
Okay, so boom, we're in
Oh wait,
agreement.
no, I'm sorry. No, I think Flight is technically out of Boston. I'm sorry.
But you
I
still
think
give
they're
it to
called
Flight.
Boston Flight. Yes, I still give it to Flight,
All right,
but
Flight takes
uh
third place. Congratulations, Flight.
yeah.
All right, what division do you want to do next? I got to do a
You know,
screenshot.
yeah, while we're in the foam mindset, let's keep it up with the foam.
Women's foam. Boom. Coming up next. Coming in hot. Women's foam.
Yeah,
Do do do
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah. Plus, very important to support women in sports all around. So we should do the women's foam next while our viewers are still awake.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, not sure where you guys are time zone wise, but appreciate you guys sticking around.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in and hanging out. Okay, okay. Almost. Almost. Ladies sports.
Yeah, plus it will give us a bit of like a good opening discussion because Finesse no longer a team officially this season.
Okay. So,
Yeah, uh, after however many years of dominating the USA women's circuit, they have parted ways.
okay, well, it had to happen eventually, but that's exciting. That's good to know. Okay, let's see if I can bring that back up on the screen. See if that looks.
Where
Oh
is
wait.
the boxing bracket for nationals? I vote for JD to win the finals match in that bracket. I
I
mean,
I don't
I
know,
don't
man.
want to get you in trouble with Twitch, so I'm not going to comment on that. Quite contrary to popular belief, I do have a filter from time to time.
All right, let's pull that back up. Okay, so we
I'm here
got.
so I won't get fined.
Oh, I forgot to grab that. Oh,
Oh,
oh well. I have it somewhere saved in the group chat. Okay, so the teams we got here. We've got Amplify, Vibes, Fierce, Invasion. How do you pronounce this one? Kunoichi?
Kodoichi.
Okay, Onyx,
It means
Illusion.
female ninja.
That's cool. That's a cool name. BCB, Supernova, and Just Happy. Just happy to be here. Um, so shit, man. I don't know. That's the one like not being a in the women's division. I don't like. It's like this. Playing against this is I'm saying this so stupidly, but basically what I'm trying to say is that when you are playing at the same time in the open foam division, you just don't get to see the women's division play. So you just don't know who's playing or how good they are unless you're actively really trying to go see these teams play. And that is a thing I would like to do more of in 2025. I'll generally be able to go and catch an Amplify match to support MJ and my Amplify ladies like Alex. Actually, I don't know who's fully on the team this for this tournament. Um, but getting to see all of these ladies play is just it's difficult when you're playing. So I don't know these teams nearly as well as I know the open teams.
Totally fair. Uh, Starting to go through the women's teams, just browsing. I think Megan Payan might have registered herself twice.
Oh, nice. Like,
Yeah, I think she registered her like on her team's roster. There is her regular profile with her actual name and her picture and her jersey number. Then Acme Megan, ACME Megan, all one word with the same jersey number. And they registered 2 weeks apart. I do not know if that is a different Megan or if she accidentally registered twice.
well, it's a good question. We're gonna go ahead and say it's a different Megan. That's what I'm going with.
All right,
All
I will
right.
refer to them as Megan 1 and Megan 2.
So
And I
So what is this
All
team?
right.
This team is Vibes. So our first women's team is Vibes. We've got Acme Megan, who we don't know who it is. We've got Abby Lee from the East Coast. Emily Fishman, I believe, is local to Arizona. So it's Carla. We got
Uh,
Kara.
uh,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, Carla, she moves around a lot. I think most recently she is back in Arizona, but last year she was here in LA for a bit, so we will find out. Uh,
Gotcha.
let's see. Who's the next
Local-ish.
person?
Then we got
Yeah,
Kimberly Ingram, Megan Payan, and Luann Wiegand. Solid crew. I know a bunch of these ladies, and they can ball. This is obviously their first, well, maybe not obviously. It is their first season as a team, it looks like. Um, there was previously Megan's team Twisted, and Kara, I don't remember what team she was
she's
on.
her. She was on Nemesis
Ah,
last year.
thank
She
you.
was co-captain with Tara Peng, I believe.
Yes.
And so they also parted ways.
Yeah, a
So
lot of shakeups in the
they
women's division,
they
seems
are
like.
quite a bit. Let's see. We talked about finesse earlier. Pride, mostly Arizona women. I believe a majority of their players have retired from competitive dodgeball. Uh, after uh, collecting a lot of accolades to their name. Congratulations to them on their uh, lengthy and successful career in dodgeball.
Definitely. A lot of success there, plenty of national team experience, and at a
Plenty
certain
of
point,
golden worlds as well.
yeah, definitely. I'm just checking something over here. Okay, cool. It's still running just fine, which is exactly what I had hoped it to be doing. All right. Um, where are we at? I zoned out for a second.
Fierce.
Fierce. Pull up Fierce. Fierce. So this looks like,
Also an entirely new team.
yeah, we got Danielle, Karina, Shauna. I don't know if I know her by maybe when I see her in person. Jessica Jordan, Crystal Gritzmar, Michelle Pabro, Heather Mason, and Lovey Burleson. I think Lovey was at, I believe, at the Untitled tournament this past weekend. Uh,
Yes, her team stopped me from trying to climb to retrieve a ball that we had almost lost in the pit because my foot got stuck in the gate as I was climbing, and they decided, we don't need any potential lawsuits
yeah,
going on. So thank you, Boston Dodgeball, for preventing me from almost hurting myself.
for taking care of JD even when he refused to take care of himself. Excellent.
My adrenaline was just like, okay, let me climb over this gate. Not my best choice, not even my second to worst choice that day.
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to go through any more teams right now? Actually, let's take a
I
look
mean,
at let's just look at all of them, because then we don't need to look at all of them from
we
no sting division as much.
yeah, because I think there's a huge overlap anyways. Uh, Invasion, they are the big name on the block. Uh, I think that's the team you're currently on.
Yep.
All right, so we got Kate Gong, longtime captain of virtually everything that she's a part of. Grace Rowan from Portland, I believe she was on a different team last year. She might have been on Rose City. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not fully
Uh,
sure, but she's a Arizona-based player, and once again, another one of those don't throw at this person. She will catch you.
I mean, honestly, a lot of this team is a don't throw at this person. So pick your poison.
Yeah, this team is looking very good. I know a lot of these players. We've got Samantha Greco, Joanna Munez, Koyo, Brittany Morales, Katie, with the wonderful photo there. I mean, that
Jesus
that
I'm
is
assuming that's Katie Sanchez
I
because
I
based
believe
on her
so.
personality, who else would do such a thing?
And that is just a solid team. Like that, they are going to come in, they're going to play well, they're going to play smart, and at least three of them right here were all at the Untitled tournament this past weekend, getting those reps in. Invasion looking solid. Slightly different makeup, but looking very good. All right, I opened
All
up
right.
this team who I continually will pronounce wrong.
Uh, Kunoichi.
Kunoichi. Kunoichi. That's what we're going to try. Kunoichi. Okay, cool. So, Captain Mei Ling. She's been around for quite a minute and has captained several teams and is a solid player. Oops, got something in the chat. Oh, nope. Nope, never mind.
Nope, it's just nope. Last thing was the boxing bracket.
So, I really don't know too many people
The,
on this team. I don't know these four players at the top, although Avery is going to be playing with Groove for mixed. So we shall see. I'll hope that she does very well so that, well, I know what. I hope she plays well, but I hope she's well rested. That's all I want out of her to play come into groove. But Mei Ling, Tiffany, and Missy are all very good experienced players. who I think are mainly the perhaps the core of this team, but I just don't know these other four yet. We will meet them, but hopefully they come to play because I like their team logo, and I want to see that
It
team
it is a
logo.
good. It is a great show.
I want that to go far. All right, then we've got Onyx here up next. JD, take it over.
All right, we got Ursuela Padilla, Isa Perez, Regina Solano, Holly Juranen, I believe. If I mispronounced that, I apologize. Ashley Nicole Dixon, I believe she was on the Mexico women's foam team. Mira Smith, I based on the jersey number, I think that is the Mira that normally plays with Showtime slash Brutes here in LA.
Okay, yep,
Someone named Elizabeth, no
nice.
last name. Someone and Jessica Hay.
Elizabeth here,
I
just
bel
like
I know
Cher, you don't need a last name.
sometimes your performance will speak for itself. Maybe that will be the case for Elizabeth, last name unknown.
All right, so that was Onyx here. Going on to Illusion with the East Coast folks. I definitely know a couple of these players here. Specifically, I know Tree over here down in the right corner, captain.
Hmm.
Sally and Rennie over here. The other ladies
Hmm.
on this team, I don't know. I know Shauna. If I remember correctly, Shauna plays up in Portland, I think, but I could be totally wrong. She may be on the East Coast, but I definitely have met and talked to her a number of times. But these other four ladies, I just don't know off the top of my head. I know this name, and I know that uh, Illusion this last year. Well, I'll just say everyone's names. Sarah Wood, Yui Lee. Is that how you say that? We're gonna go with
I genuinely do not know.
okay, and
Hold
then
on.
Sandy Stewart, and then in the chat, Shauna is East Coast. Played with Dauntless at Nationals. Boom. Thanks, chat. Um, but this team did very well last year. I believe taking it second place at least one of the tournaments. Um, maybe was it even nationals? Did they take second at nationals in no sting? I feel like that might be correct. I don't know, but they have
Possibly.
yeah, but they have been together for a minute. At least their core roster has, and seem to only be getting better. So I expect them to do great things this season. Plus, they are always around and just very good uh, promoters of the sport. They are out there making sure that other people join dodgeball. Rennie doing a lot with the NCDA, specifically Rennie and Tree with like the women's division in the NCDA. And then we got our West Coast Los Angeles homies with Amplify. We've got someone's phone number. Whoops. Let's just scroll away. I can't cover it. I don't know how to cover it.
Oh boy.
Goodbye. Whoops. So JD, can you just read those teams now, since I just totally accidentally doxed
Uh,
somebody?
yeah, I mean, I don't know how we can even get away with not having that on there because that's how they registered. But hopefully, we don't have any creepy ass people on your viewers that's about to call that number. So we got Anika, last name I cannot pronounce, Logan Castrodale, Kiara Ota. I believe she is one of your Groove teammates.
Yes.
All right, Alice Chung, Kim Matheson, Alex Gardner, and phone number.
And
Who
phone number. Um, which
Yeah, to whoever is listening, for I know Total Sports Hub is a new program for USA Dodgeball. Uh, read, make sure your public info is on there. Double check. You don't want anything that is, that can be used to contact you at any time you don't want to be contacted. So
Yeah.
please do take precaution to cover any sensitive information on your dodgeball profile.
So sorry about that, but that is a very solid team. Looks like we've got members of I don't remember what their women's team name is, but Synergy, the mixed team, and a number of members returning from Amplify from the previous season. So that team is looking like they should be pretty good. I am excited. I will always be cheering for Amplify. I got a couple other jerseys. Well, do I have a couple? I've got one for sure. Uh, but I think I got two. I don't remember. But I'm always pulling for Amplify, and that won't be what's the word? That'll be prevalent when we do this bracket. Just happy to be here. Coming up, we've got another East Coast team. East Coast is representing really. Oops, we didn't click on teams. We screwed that up. East Coast is representing really hard out here in Tucson. I am pleased that they're traveling as far as they are to come be a part of this first tournament. It is going to be fun. So, just looking at the team names, the only person I really know is their captain, Christine, Frankie's wife. She is a lovely lady. I believe got into dodgeball through Frankie, or they met in dodgeball. I don't remember. Either way, she's just happy to be here, and their team seems to just always be having a really good time. We've got Tara, Michaela Atland, Fawn Harmer, Sierra Ortiz, and Kelsey Minnick. I don't know too much about this team, unfortunately, but they're just happy to be here, and I am happy that they are able to make it to this tournament because they seem to always be having the right vibes.
Yeah, I know very as much as you do about this team, but they seem to be not more casual vibes compared to the other teams in this league. But you know, sometimes you just need that around in a competitive tournament like this. You just need a friendly team that you could chat up the at the venue.
Well, that and also that's how you get started, right? Is even if you are a team that wants
Everyone's
to
got to
be
start somewhere.
exactly. So just getting out there and playing in the tournaments, and then also in some cases, doing really well. It just changes everything about how you feel about it, and then you can move on and just continue to grow as a team. So the next team we
Yeah,
got coming up is Supernova. Uh,
great name.
yeah, good name. We got a couple. We got one East Coaster, or not East Coaster, like a bi-coastal, but generally she plays out here in Morgan. Um, and then I know Rebecca is part of the Team USA board and the media team, coming out once again from the East Coast. So I would assume a significant amount of these players are East Coast folks who are also making the journey to join us in Tucson. You want to run through that team?
Hold on, I totally accidentally clicked away from it. Sorry.
That's all right.
All right, here, actually, I can just read it from your screen. So we got Bridget Baker, Steph Ohalik, Morgan East, as Joey mentioned, Jody Eichel, Caitlin Apostol, Noel Iorio, Dawn Galloway, I believe she is from Arizona, and Rebecca Forend, uh, one of your media teammates.
Nice. And then we've got rounding it off here. We've got BCB, captained by Kelsey Nirheim Cherik. Uh, and yeah, okay. We got Kelly Lowe, Katie McGuire, Morgan Traps, Emily Starkey, Sierra Smotek, Stephanie O'Shea, and then Kelsey. Um, I don't know how long they've been together, but I saw them at most rounds last year, or at least it felt like I saw them at most rounds last year. So they've been together for a minute now, and yeah, I think they're gonna probably play pretty damn well in this tournament. So with the women's division, there just aren't enough teams for there to be two pools, so it appears that all teams will be playing each other throughout the round robin. So this is kind of a mess, but I'm going to move the women's teams over here and we can kind of just start placing them. Who do you think is going to be your number one pick? Who's your number one seed?
I mean, just based on experience, continuity, Invasion is definitely up there. I don't know if they will have the let's try and get some let's try and get points on the board approach, given their different makeup of their roster for this tournament. But I definitely think they deserve some consideration to be the number one seed. No, which is not to say they did not hang that they did hang back at a few other tournaments that they have attended. So, but I think they would be number one for me just
Okay.
on talent alone.
Well, I agree. We're going to put Invasion as our number one seed coming into this tournament. I think it's going to be tight. I think that's the thing with this women's round. Um, just with there are just less teams, unfortunately, in the women's division versus the open divisions. And it seems to be that way at almost every USA tournament we've participated in so far, which one day we will change. There will be equal or more women's teams. I feel it coming. We're just not there quite yet. But this is also, once again, pretty close. There were 14 men or 14 open teams as opposed to 10 women's teams. So that's much tighter than has happened in other tournaments. Um, but with that, it seems that a lot of the talent is a little more evenly spread. And so there is, I think this will be a very tight tournament, hopefully all the way through. Um, for me, I'm going to go ahead and my bias is going to show immediately, but I think I would put Amplify at number two. We got Kiara coming off of her play with the mixed team at Worlds in foam this last year, and she played excellent. She's a player who has only gotten better at dodgeball with a massive softball background, and I think this team is solid. I hope that they come out and play some of their best dodgeball right off the bat. Do you disagree with my number two pick?
Uh, no, I can't really fully disagree with it just because it is a different Amplify roster that than I am used to, but
Mm-hmm.
uh they still do have a good blend of experience and talent on that team. So they could turn it up and get that number two seed coming into playoffs.
Awesome. All right. Well then, for me, I'm feeling it's I don't want to say it's a toss up. Whoops, I accidentally turned that one. But it's just I'm kind of picking these off of vibes at the moment. So it's all about
Bottom,
what's that?
bottom.
Oh,
Because you were clicking on a team named Vibes.
yeah. But I feel like if I were to break these apart a little bit, I
I
would
would
probably
definitely
oh
say Illusion.
yeah. So Illusion is one of the teams that I was gonna put kind of like this. I was gonna do a little. I felt kind of like oopsie, didn't mean to make that bigger. But this is kind of what I was thinking, just off of the people that I know, and then I was gonna put Onyx kind of right in the middle. So like that was kind of my breakdown. Is like this is the next group. I'm not sure where Onyx goes, and this is the other group, and I don't know how true that is. I feel like I'm gonna feel bad about it no matter what I do, uh, because it just kind of comes down to not knowing these teams as well as I need to. But
Uh,
that's
let's
kind of
see.
my
I
rough
would,
vibes.
yeah, yeah. I mean, for me, it's between. Illusion and Bridge City
Hmm.
for the next two spots.
Gotcha. Totally fair. Well, I'm going to go ahead, since we agree, we're going to give Illusion our 3 seed. Illusion's going to come in. They're going to be our number 3 seed in this tournament. Boom. All right. And so then for the 4th seed, you were thinking uh, Bridge City was is
Y-
probably your 4 seed.
yes,
Okay.
correct.
And you know what? Let's give it to them. We're gonna give them 4. Then for me, I think Kunoichi. They've lost some players, but it is still a very similar team to what was previously, because I believe this is uh, kind of like an offshoot. Not necessarily an offshoot. I think like Onimusha broke up and became Kunoichi as part of that team.
Yeah, I think that is an accurate description of what had happened. Uh, hold on, I swiped the wrong direction on my phone and lost the stream.
No, that's
But
fine.
but yeah, I do think yeah, I mean, it looks like Mei Ling was able to keep at least half of that team's core. So anytime you can keep half when you're starting over, uh, that is a win in itself.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Um, yeah, because you don't want to start all the way over if you don't have to. All right. Well, for me, I feel like Vibes. I feel like Vibes is a very solid team, and I think they are gonna come out and
You you think they could shock some people and uh come out?
I do. I think looking at the Vibes roster, I mean, you've got right over here with Carla and Luann, two of like the best catchers in women's dodgeball. And maybe even just dodgeball with Luann. She's like, I mean, Carla's also
Yeah,
up there, but like they catch everything. So,
yeah.
in with Abby and Kara and Kimberly, Megan, Emily, like this, I don't know who this Megan is, but this is a very good team. They just haven't played together that long. So, but on a pure talent uh, perspective, I do think that that team can wrangle
They got
themselves
some
a
potential.
sixth place
Yeah,
finish.
yeah, they do have some potential to them, so they could be a surprise team coming out of this tournament.
Then for me, I feel like I just don't know these teams nearly as well. I think that's what it kind of comes down to. Is I would like to know them, but I just don't.
Yeah,
Not well
yeah, we
enough
do
to.
have quite a few. We do have quite a few. How do you say it? Like newer teams. A bit of part of it is coming from just teams parting ways. Some teams retiring, or some teams not even coming out for this tournament to start off the year.
Yeah. So with that in mind, I feel like any one of these teams is probably going to exceed our expectations. Maybe even all of them. Um, but we just got to put someone on here in order to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go with Just Happy is going to be number 10 based basically on their name. I think they're going to hang out here, but I think they're going to play better than that, but that's where we're going to set them for now. I would like to put Onyx at number 7. They have been a team
Okay.
for a while. It's just that they've had a number of roster shifts and they haven't been able to make it to every tournament, but they are here. We've got confirmation from the chat that it is, in fact, a different Megan on that Vibes team, so they have at least an additional player. And then,
Oh, okay.
and then I'm gonna put Supernova at 9 and Fierce at 8. All right, how much do we hate this? Is it okay?
Mm, I don't know. I feel like that's pretty fair. Again, Part of this is because we don't know these teams as much as
As we probably
uh
should to be making predictions like this. But we did it because,
yes.
god damn it, we really wanted to give it a go.
And we want to promote women's sports. The unfortunate thing is uh scheduling of the open matches are simultaneous, so it's not always ideal, and especially for on teams that are refing
Yeah.
matches, so they don't get as much of a chance to watch other matches take place.
And just the simple fact that we play against all of these open teams, just we get a better sense of who they are as a team. But that's enough with excuses. It would be better for us to know these people. We just currently don't, but in 2025, we are going to learn more about each of these teams and we're going to be able to make more fun predictions. And also, we had tried to get at least
More
uh,
educated predictions.
one one of our friends to join us on this. One of our friend MJ, but unfortunately she was not able to make it. Since now that we've done this test run, if we ever decide to do this again, we'll open this up to more people to come in and give their perspectives because I feel like having them be a part of it will be a huge difference maker. We can just sit in the back seat and run the actual stream if we in some of those situations.
Yeah, yeah, like Joey said, you know, the one perfect way, well, not perfect, but a great way to promote women's sports is to have a female athlete talking about their fellow female athletes, analyzing, breaking it down, and just providing their insight as to the experience that they've had playing against fellow women in sports. And uh, yeah, scheduling this didn't work out for us today, unfortunately.
Can't win them all, but we got to move ahead because I feel like had we not done it just to delay, then we just probably wouldn't do it. But we're here doing it. So let's go ahead and start off with our first match, the match number one of playoffs. We've got Supernova versus Fierce. 8 versus 9 seed, always a tight match. Once again, we'll just pull up Fierce. Fierce, we got a lot of West Coast folks. We got Danielle, we got Karina, we got Heather, we got Lovey, and then what was it? What did I just say it was? It's Supernova. Supernova versus Fierce. And then we got Fierce over, or we just did Fierce. Come on, Joey, get it together. JD, I think I'm gonna burn out after this. I don't think we're gonna do any more divisions. If you're cool with that, I think he agrees. Okay, and then we've got Supernova over here. So, man, 8 9 seed. They both, for me, I'm gonna give it the slight West Coast bias. I got Fierce moving on personally, and I think that has a lot to do with obviously a personal bias, but I do think that Danielle has a great arm. Um, Not saying that other folks on these teams don't have great arms, but if she is hitting, she has such a solid arm and it can be a difference maker for sure. However, you've got some incredible catchers on both teams, but I'm gonna personally move Fierce on from the first round to be facing Invasion in the second round.
Yeah, I honestly cannot dispute that. Uh, Mostly because I know little about both of these teams, so I'm just gonna agree with vibes, or I'm sorry, fierce moving forward.
Okay, and then once again, I'm just gonna pull up Just Happy and Onyx super quick. So we've got Onyx here, and then Just Happy to be here over here. So I think I was gonna pick Onyx personally, based simply on their longevity as a team, but also just looking at it now, I feel like having 8 players, once you get to playoffs, is going to be a huge difference maker. Your energy levels are going to be up. You've got the additional shaggers out there to make sure that you get balls. And I think both of our higher seeds are going to personally move on into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a matter of matchups, and I think the experience on Onyx is enough to take them to the next round.
Sounds good to me. Okay, and so then we've got our first match of the quarterfinals, Invasion versus Fierce, and I do sadly think that our East or West Coast friends are going to fall to our number 1 seed Invasion. I think if they manage to get into a real groove as a squad, that team is going to be looking real hot throughout the whole tournament. They've got some absolute killer players. It's just dependent on can they, as like a somewhat new team in terms of roster, can they really get together and play the best dodgeball? But this is like a killer lineup. We've got so much national team experience here. We've got captains, we've got gold medal winners. It's kind of wild. Invasion is a very stacked team, and I don't see them losing in the first round.
I completely agree. I think uh, all those women on Invasion have made the Combine or higher level, so this is just a case of talent is going to win out.
Okay, so who do you got in the next matchup? I'm just kind of cleaning up our screens slightly over here.
Let's see. BCB versus Kunoichi. I think BCB, from the one tournament that I remember seeing them at last year, uh, uh, BCB gave Invasion a good matchup in a no sting round. So I think they'll be more prepared and uh, we'll move on to the next round.
All right, sounds good to me. I'm gonna go with BCB as well, taking them into our semifinal match. I think basically it's just the continuity, right? Kunoichi's a very solid team, but since they have split off, I think when it comes down to this tight playoff situation, I do give the advantage to the team that's been around just a little bit longer, even though there's plenty of experience on this squad.
We got a request in the chat from Dude in Cali. I know this is one of the O'Brien brothers. I can't remember which one. He says, "Quick, open no sting. LOL."
Ah,
Hey, take a quick nap. We'll message you when no sting is up.
I
W-
think I'm
We
gonna.
totally won't, but stay up, stay up, damn it, and support us.
Hey, he's been here the whole time. I appreciate you hanging out with us, man.
I mean,
Truly.
yeah, we appreciate it, but still, stay up. Damn, I already took a nap. Well, get some coffee in you.
No, man, I need to go to sleep after this. I got work pretty early tomorrow. Okay, so match number 5,
Yeah.
Amplify
Oh,
versus
damn.
Onyx. Next time
Adulting sucks.
we'll just do this faster next time. That'll be the key. We'll just be like, okay, let's go. But Amplify versus Onyx. Personally,
Amplify.
I got Amplify. I got Amplify taking it to the next level, amplifying their game, amplifying their voices,
Li-
just straight crushing
living
it.
up to their names.
And then in this situation over here, I'm gonna go Illusion. I think we have them as
Same.
the higher seed for a reason. I think I think this is a good matchup, but I think simply because this is a Vibes is a newer team once again, it's not necessarily that they are a lesser
The
team. It's just that this is
the
technically a
chemistry is
new
there.
squad. Yes. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of games just flip on their head because of the play of this squad, and I could absolutely see that happening and see Vibes just on their first run busting into the semifinal game. It would not surprise me. I think realistically, this game and this game right here are probably very close, but vibes. I could see them making quite a run, just maybe not in this tournament. So once we got that, we're moving on here. What is it? I'll fix that later for next time. So once again, I'm just gonna say it. I think Invasion just takes it. I think I
I
really
think
do.
that'll be a good match,
Yep.
but Invasion, like the talent level on that team, might be there, and at that point, uh, it might be clicking. However, I will say they are the four names on the top of their roster is a catch heavy playing style in Kate Gong, Grace Rowan, Samantha Greco, and I cannot remember who the fourth person is.
It's Joanna.
Honestly, I okay, yeah, Joanna. So those four are very catch heavy and reliant on their defense. So if their catching is not there, be do not be surprised if there is an upset.
Well, and another thing too is that we generally see a lot of these players only when we play against them in mixed. So in mixed, yes, maybe they are more catch heavy, but in women's, I don't doubt that these players are throwing a lot more. I know Samantha Greco's got a great arm, so it's interesting to see how people transition their play style once they switch divisions like that.
Yeah,
Um,
and Grace Rowan, great arm. Katie Sanchez, the definition of instant offense when she was the first player coming off the bench during the 2019 Cancun uh, Worlds. She was as soon as she came in, she was instantly hitting. So if her arm gets hot, I'd say watch out, but you're pretty much dead to her rights.
they'll already be watching out, that's for sure. Okay, so in this matchup, Amplify versus Illusion, I these are like my two heavy biased teams playing against each other. So I think it's really going to come down to who do I think is going to play better in Tucson. Which team? Oops, wait, shoot. This is the team with the number. My bad. Um, I'm gonna, I'm gonna give it to Amplify. I'm doing it. I got Amplify.
I mean,
Kiara's
you're the guy with the computer, and even if I disagree,
Woo! Amplify. Um, I think it's gonna be them, and I believe it's gonna be them because of. Um, I think if I'm gonna give a reason, the specific reason is the travel. But I do think Kiara is gonna come to play, and I think that is gonna set the tone for their whole team. I think it'll be another great matchup. I think both of these semifinals will be very exciting.
yeah.
And
I mean, I was gonna disagree, but you have the computer, so you have the final vote technically.
you got Illusion. Illusion's your
I,
other finals match, finals team.
I actually do just because
Okay,
Illusion when the Elite Eight uh format came back, they were one of two teams to make it to the Elite Eight in all the divisions that they tried. So that would have been my reason.
I mean that's a really good reason. The consistency across ball types, consistency as a team throughout that
Yeah,
time, I can accept it. Um, but
but you have the computer, so there's that.
well, who? Well, before we do the finals match, then who do you got in the third place game? Do you got BCB or do you got Illusion?
I might again go with Illusion for
Ooh,
the same reason. However, BCB, they are uh the dark horse of this tournament. Like I would not if they make a run to the finals, it will not be surprising.
nice. This looks like trash. I am really good at this, guys. Don't worry about it. I'm a graphic designer. It's see look at how perfect that looks. Intentional. Anyway, we got Invasion
Yeah,
versus Amplify in the finals, and I do think based on what we have said and just the simple fact that JD doesn't even think Amplify should be in the finals here, I think I know who he's going to pick as his number one team in this
I mean,
women's open foam division or
I
women's
think
foam
you do
division.
agree also.
Invasion! Boom! I just think this whole tournament's going to really come down to how well do these teams play together. Like obviously that's how it always is in any tournament, right? Any team sport, cohesiveness is so important. Any one, even three players can get super hot, but if the other three aren't playing with those three, it's gonna fall apart pretty quickly. But if that team can play together as well as I envision them, I think they'll be very, very hard to beat.
Yeah, and like we had said earlier, for these women's teams, a lot of turnover, a lot of new players, roster shifts. Some teams unable to come out for this round. We will see them in a future tournament, but who can gel the quickest will be the biggest factor.
Especially in foam coming off as the first division of the tournament. Um,
Oh, hey, look at that beautiful graphic
hey, who
of
made
the
that? I don't
tournament
know,
schedule.
but it was me.
I don't
I
know,
made
but
it.
it
Uh,
it it has a great visual impact to it.
we did it, guys. Um, well, anyway, that is gonna be the end of this stream because I am getting hungry and tired all at the same time. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, JD, out there on the Discord for hanging out. The chat says solid number one pick. They don't disagree with us. What do you got to say, JD? What do you got to say to the people?
Yeah, I mean, again, thanks for joining us for more dodgeball content, especially for you guys that are in the disc or in chat and in LA. Follow jdf.dodgeball on YouTube, subscribe because us right here, half of the stats team, we started not only doing stats but also commentary for our local cloth league. The finals videos, we are still working on that. We got some cool stuff coming up with that. We promise it will be worth the wait. So thank you guys for supporting us.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. This was pretty fun. We'll do it faster and better next time. But yeah, I
We
just
might have to break this up over a couple nights
right. But I like
because
talking about
we
dodgeball.
totally underestimated how long this was going to take, especially with how we went over team rosters.
Yeah, we went a little too in depth at times, but it was fun. Yeah. So thanks for hanging out, JD. Thanks for listening.